Okay. Welcome back, kids. Inverted Cow here. It's now 2 full days, almost 2 full days, not even 2 full days, since our good friend Mr. Borat the dumbass decided to attempt to grief our server. Just thought I'd let everybody see just exactly what his griefing managed to accomplish. As you can see, I'm here in Hell's Kitchen where I've put in my nether ore processing facility. Basically everything is processed and sent out. Just have a few more things that I'm working on. I've got my nether tree farm up and running today. Although we do already have almost 5,000 of each in inventory, so that's irrelevant. Yeah, see, he didn't actually damage any of the inventories in the processing facilities that I have, because I haven't set these up to go back into the ME system yet. They just basically store at this location until they're needed, because most people use the requesters. The old requester tables that I like to use. I personally prefer these, but whatever. Show all the inventories attached to the ME system, including 2,000 lumber and 19,000 charcoal. More on that later. Anyhow, this is Hell, and it's another glorious sunny day here, so let's head out back to the overworld where it's probably nighttime and or raining. Okay, kids, here we are back in the overworld. And yeah, raining. If anybody can convince me that Thaumcraft is good for the trades that you get, I'm going to tell them they're full of something else. Anyhow, let's have a look-see around town here. As you can see, a few of our buildings are functioning just fine, no problems. This giant stone box is going to become the spawn house. Basically where everybody has a central house. And yeah, it looks pretty good. And now the building that Borat attacked was the one that contained our ME system. And as you can see, it's up, it's running, it's fully functional again. In fact, you probably won't even recognize the difference between the room where it was and the room where it is. In fact, it's the same room, we kept the same structure, everything. Although we are debating on moving this to another location. Our ME guy came in and we've had a few things that had to be fixed. I mean, some stuff was hooked up wrong and that kind of thing. But as you can see, everything's up and running. There's still a few patterns that have to be encoded, and that's just basically a matter of sitting down one afternoon and encoding patterns. So in 2 days, he has done absolutely nothing. He is now just a faint, distant memory on a video that's going to be posted on YouTube and watched by all 5 people. So, congratulations, Griefer. You are nothing. Thank you for your time. The only thing it's managed to accomplish was you managed to get put on the ban list permanently. And you'll probably never be able to play Minecraft on a server again. Here's another example of somebody not listening to our no more farms rule. This is yet another tree farm. I'll show you the one that we set up for the entire server. It's actually fairly large. I have a sludge boiler in Hell, which I reused materials to supply exotic dirts and whatnot to the system, so that, you know, bricks and whatnot are not in short demand. He's violated both of these. This is a void pipe. The sludge is being sent wasted material. Just throw it in the garbage and never be seen again. So there's that. he's wasting power because he hooked it onto our server power grid, and it's running all of these machines, and he's got a whole stack of ovens down here cooking up charcoal. Completely unnecessarily. So why am I ticked off about that? Well, let me show you. Okay, what you're looking at is the server tree farm. This takes up 6 full chunks, by the way. This is a fairly large size farm. It's the largest size you can get with this type of farming thing. All these coke ovens work. I've got a dozen of them to produce charcoal. I'm going to put in a couple more biogas engines down here. I got a room for a few more because I'm obviously still producing more fuel than I'm burning. The charcoal I'm burning in the boiler. This is what we first set up when we first started. And the oak wood is sitting in this deep storage unit on demand. 191,000 of it. Do we honestly need more oak wood, more charcoal? I don't think so. But deep storage unit over here, hooked to the boiler. Stored 19,000 of it. We don't need more charcoal. So what was the point? Why they made that other tree farm, I don't know. It makes no sense to me whatsoever why somebody would go through the trouble of making yet another farm. Do they really feel that this is not good enough? I don't know. I'm kind of hurt and insulted by it, but maybe they just don't understand that the AE network does not understand inventories hooked up to the requester network. So I'm going to show you my pride and joy here. This is a 5-day clock. Now it's best seen when it's just coming up to sunrise, and I'm not going to stand here and wait that long because it's just early morning, early Minecraft morning. But every sunrise, what happens is, or actually every sunset, I guess we'll start with sunset. Every sunset, what happens is, starting down here, this piston, then that piston will all retract. Then that redstone repeater will turn off. That turns on this inverter, which powers this piston. This piston will push that glass block forward into that square where this piston arm is. Then in the morning, the system runs, it does exactly the same thing, only in reverse. First thing in the morning, that repeater comes on and turns off that piston. Then the redstone goes a couple of minutes later, this piston will fire. A couple minutes later, that piston followed by that one almost immediately. And what it does is it cycles these 5 blocks in a circle. They all move forward one square. So this glass block will move to that redstone will move over, so on and so forth. Every 5th day, that redstone will line up with that redstone dot and turn off this inverter. This inverter controls the switch over here, redstone pipe right into this harvester, so it turns on the harvester. The harvester then runs for 1 full Minecraft day and full Minecraft night. That way it keeps the block lag, because when this thing was running, the block lag around here was ridiculously sick. So it keeps the block lag to once every 5 Minecraft days. And that's keeping all, whatever this is, like 12 or 14 ovens fully stocked with fuel. Keeping that little boiler fully stocked with fuel. Keeping all of those biogas engines fully stocked with fuel. And supplying us with a surplus of coke, charcoal and oak wood and apples are all supplied. I tend to take the oak wood saplings and fire them into hell and use them into my manual furnaces there, which I use for the mud bricks, these mud bricks that you get from the mud brick balls, and for the red bricks. Um, as you can see, you can't walk around this tree farm and not pick up saplings. They just poop all over the place down here. So yeah, the tree farm's up and running, and like the ME system's up and running, and all the farms are up and running, and everything's functional, and people are back to their bases and their builds and all their fun stuff that they were doing. So yeah, there you go. That's what our little griefer guy managed to accomplish. Exactly what he is. Nothing. What we have here is a massive structure made by one of our new players. One of our new players. It's supposed to be some kind of a castle or giant thing, and it's supposed to be made out of ice. He found that he's got these magic lights. He's into the thom stuff, and he's got these magic lights, and they tend to melt the ice. So he had to make unmeltable ice, which requires plastic. So he set up a plastic tree farm. It really wasn't needed, but we let it slide. I'm beginning to debate the wisdom of that because he's made the second farm area. He has, however, been taking advantage of some of the kindnesses that have been shown to him, and it's kind of getting on the nerves of a few people. This was that round tower base that never finished. This player hasn't been seen from again. Another one of our players that came, started something, and left. That seems to be the theme of the server here is, if I can't do it all myself, to hell with you guys, I'm leaving. So, hey, to hell with you guys. We're looking for builders. We're looking for people who like to enjoy building. Currently, we have no applications available, and we're dealing with getting ourselves straightened out because we're waiting to give all of the existing players a chance to decide if they're coming back or not. The admin is also taking a week off. But the way it's looking, there's probably only going to be about 10 active players on this server, and the inactive players are going to end up getting the boot. Let's see what else we got going on here. As you can see, I render really slow with this craps happening sometimes. So let's have a boo here at some of these other builds. This is Mr. Music Man. He's been on and he's been working on stuff, and I don't know what he's been working on, but he's all about the bees. This is his place. I really love his pet penguin. He's so cute. And I like the way he's built this house. This is really, I love these micro blocks. I love the way they look and they work. So I'm kind of really encouraged to see what he's going to do when he starts to decorate inside here. A few of our other guys have been building. Basically the last 3 or 4 days have been fix up and clean up and come on, close, you silly door. I'm getting weird lag spikes. Yeah, me too. Let's see here. Looks like Chris hasn't done anything else on his build. I don't really see a lot else that's happened. There hasn't been really any real changes in town. And if you wonder, I look at things on my mini map when I'm flying because the render rate is absolutely garbage on this computer. And as you can see, I tend to look at horizons more than anything. So there you have it, right from the heart of Spawn Town itself. That's Inverted Cow saying, you know, good night again, folks. And yeah, see, you kicked us, you pissed us off. We came back up swinging. We came out stronger. We're better.
Faster.
We're slower.
And we're worth 6 million.
And we're trying to find your sorry little ass because there's about 10 of us that want to have your head on a platter. So, have a good night, kids.